Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do flares. Cool guys, so the flare is probably one of the most hardest power moves there is in the whole of breaking. It's debatable whether it's harder than, say, air flares as well, but it's definitely up there. Me personally, I find it probably the most kind of tiring one. I can do air flares pretty easy, but when I go into flares, I get tired a lot quicker, and I think it's because your center of gravity is just getting pushed around so much, and you're having to keep your legs, keeping them kicking up in the air and things like that. So that's one of the reasons why I think it's one of the hardest power moves to do. But saying that, if you train consistently and just go over these steps, you should be able to pick it up fairly quickly. Okay, so step one of the flare is a pretty easy step. It's just understanding the intro or the start. So all we do for the start is we obviously do our power step, we step back, then we kind of twist our body. So watch how my right hand's here and then my left hand comes back. Obviously if you're the other-handed, you do it the other way. And then your right hand comes kind of down to the middle. I put it to the side. You might find it easier putting it forward. It's up to you. I put it to the side. And then this back hand is just kind of up. So I'll show you from this side. We go here and then twist. Then the hand comes down. Okay, easy enough. Right, so that's kind of the intro. Now, step two is getting ready for the kick. So all we want to do is we go here. And now we can practice from here, but what happens is the right foot, which is the foot I kick with, comes around the back. It comes round underneath this left one, and as that happens, as it kicks under, this left leg kicks right up, and it kind of goes around like that. So one more time, I'll show you what that looks like. So we're from here. All we want to practice is kicking around and then this leg coming up. So if it's your first time, don't worry, it doesn't need to be perfect, but just all you want to be practicing is going kick around and up, just like that. If this foot is sliding around, that's okay. It doesn't need to be off the air exactly when you're first beginning, but if you're getting that motion right, that's all that's really important when you're first beginning. So again, step two, I want you to just drill, have your hand here, kicking it around, and then this leg coming up, just like that, okay? Okay, so now that we have step two, we're now moving on to step three, where all we want to do is now bring in the other hand, the left hand, to kind of catch us so that we don't fall over or mess up the flow and momentum. So all we want to do is basically continue with our kick, keep it going, but then quickly bring this, the opposite hand, down and behind you. You don't want it to be too far away as well. You want it to be pretty close. So I'll show you what I mean. So we go here. Step one is here. Step two, then step three. So step three, you just want to make sure that that back hand is catching. So again, I'm here, swing around, catch. So you want to make it, you want to have this left hand down kind of as quickly as possible so that you've got your momentum, and once your legs are up, you're ready to catch. Okay, so now we're at step four. Now step four is, if we imagine we've brought our legs up, we're pretty much here, and now we're kind of going to the back or in for the kind of second one, but more getting to the back. So the key thing to remember here is once your legs are up like this, you want to start leaning obviously more to the left side or the right side if you're left-handed, and you want to start bringing your body over yourself, and as that's happening, this left leg, which was up here, is now kicking hard round here, and then this right leg is now kicking up towards your ear. So if you imagine like a pendulum, it goes like this. It goes right leg swings under, left foot up, right foot right up to your ear, and then left foot kind of axe kick. Like I don't even know how to do an axe kick, but it's up. So it's kind of like just chopping it like that. So I'll show you what I mean. So step 4, we go here and kick. You just want to kick it around as much as possible. So again, I go here, here, kick, just like that. Okay, so now for step 5, what we want to now do is we're at the back, we've kicked around, we now need to catch ourselves. So that's a pro tip is, and I'm guilty of not doing this perfectly, is you want to try and get your back as flat as possible. You'll see that I usually kind of arch my back. It's just kind of a bad habit that I've got into, but I'm trying to work on that. So you just really want to make sure that your back, when you come to the back, you want it to be pretty flat, just because it really helps with the swinging and the momentum. So basically, we're just going here, swinging around, and then out like that. This would be like the ideal position. But see, my position is kind of like that. I'm a bit too arched over like that. So try and avoid that. That'd be ideal. So step 6 is you're now at the back, but then you're just continuing the motion again. So again, you're just going to be coming here. You're going to be coming here and then kicking around like that. And what's really important is that you bring your hips out as much as possible again. And that's basically just going to come down to conditioning. Once you're starting, you're probably going to be all tight and like closed. But what you want to do is you want to eventually get wider hips, and go out, like kind of further out, which means you'll have really good height and really good control as well. But that just comes from condition. So my top tips for the flare are: make sure you've stretched a lot. The straighter your legs are, the easier it's going to be to build momentum. Also, one of the things like really hardcore b-boys will do is they'll practice in their bare feet. So kind of like if you're going for the flare and then you scrape your feet, it means you're going to injure your feet quite a bit. You're going to burn the skin. So it's kind of like you're wanting to avoid pain. Your body will do a lot more to avoid pain than it will to like try to get pleasure or whatever. So basically that's going to tell your mind, like, really kick those legs. You don't want to burn your skin. Another easier technique, which I do for my students, is we do it in socks, because it means you're going to be sliding about when you're scraping on the floor. So it's not going to hurt as much, but it doesn't break your flow. Like if you've got shoes on and you scrape, it will kind of break your flow. But if you've got socks, it will kind of keep it going. Okay, so with the air flare, you're going to want to make sure that you have 3 moves before you try and attempt something like this. The first one is you're going to need a decent handstand. The second one is you're going to need a one-handed pike freeze. And the third one is the gallop, but I'll kind of be going over that in this tutorial. So let's just start with the first step. So the first step of the air flare is just practicing the gallop. And the gallop is just getting us into the idea of going around in the circle. So I'll just show you what that looks like. Really easy, right? Okay, so with the gallop, all we're going to do is we're going to take a power step. Left hand comes down. Then we swing our right foot up. And at the same time as our right foot coming up, we want to get this right hand ready to swing around. So it goes right foot up and swing around. The left leg's just there to kind of guide you. Make sure it's going in a circle, okay? So one more time. We go power step. Left hand down. Right foot comes up first. Then swinging that left foot, and last but not least, the right hand to swing around. So all I suggest you do is just keep practicing the gallop step, going around like that, until you're really comfortable with doing that. For step 2, all we're going to do is a gallop into a pike freeze. So I'll just show you what that looks like. And the reason we do that is pretty much just to get your body used to getting ready for the pop over. So when you're going for that pike, what it's doing is it's compressing your body ready for that jump over that happens in the air flare. Okay, so for the third part of the air flare, all we want to do is we want to condition our left arm to get stronger at catching, because usually what's going to happen is your body's totally not used to jumping from there to the left hand, and it's just going to be pretty much going to crash out. So what we want to do is condition it just to get strong, so when we do hop over, we can land it and this hand is strong enough to support us. So I just basically condition jumping onto my left hand, which is my weaker hand. So basically all you want to do is just jumping back and forth onto that left hand. Just pretty much imagining that you're landing from that air flare. So even just jumping onto the left hand like this, just going and practicing swinging into the second one. So again, just like that. Okay, so now the fourth step is more for a mindset type of approach to the air flare. So all we want to do is just get used to hopping over. So similar to the third step, we just want to imagine ourselves popping around and landing. So what I do is you start just like here, and then all you want to do is just swing. But you want to keep going in that circle motion and imagine you're doing the air flare. Obviously, it's not going to be anything really close to the air flare, but it gives you an idea of where your hands should be, what your body's going to be kind of like when you're popping over, and basically it's going to get your body used to the whole jumping around. So I really recommend that one. It kind of looks a wee bit silly and amateur, but it's going to help you get the idea of how to do the air flare. Okay, so the fifth step of the air flare is basically just practicing it from a handstand. So I'll just show you what that looks like. See, I mean, when you're practicing that, it doesn't need to be perfect. Obviously, you don't have the momentum from the swing, so it's going to be a lot harder. But the reason why I like doing it from a handstand is because, again, you're really going to get every part of the air flare. It needs to be perfect when you're doing it from a handstand. So when you're in the handstand, the whole swinging round, the compression needs to be even more because you have less momentum and you're getting used to just popping over. So working it from a handstand really helped me when I first was learning the air flare. So I really recommend you do that as well. Okay, cool guys, so that was the air flare. My top tips for that is make sure you take your time. Don't try rush into it. It is a difficult move, but if you have patience, then you'll really pick it up quickly. Make sure you practice every single step along the way and perfect that, and then you'll be hitting it in no time. So other than that, keep training and I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do the baby mill. Okay, cool guys, so with baby mill, you're going to want to have two moves before you start to learn the baby mill. The first is coin drops. That's going to really help you get used to going up and down and landing on the right part of your back. And the second one is obviously windmills. Windmills is like pretty much vital if you want to be able to do baby mills. So go through those tutorials first and then come back here. If you want to learn baby mills without them, it's going to be a lot harder for you, so I really recommend that. Okay, first step of learning the baby mill is basically just getting used to having your legs closed. So we're just going to be able to do, assuming you already have a windmill, we're just going to do windmill and then close our legs. Now, each person is different. You might want to have your right foot on top of your left or your left foot on top of your right. For me personally, I think that most people will do it right on top of left, especially if you're right footed. So let's just work on that. So we're just going to do windmill and then into our backswing and close our legs. So we go here and there. And one more time. So we just go here, and then you want to quickly do it. And it doesn't really matter if I'm rocking about too much. The whole idea is that you want to kind of quickly be able to close your legs, because I have found that sometimes when I'm going really fast in the windmill, that it's harder to go against the kind of momentum and get those legs really closed because you're going quite fast. So you really want to kind of fast snap, a fast snap to get into them. So again, right, so we've got step one, windmill back to closed backspin, and then the next step is just practice jumping up on our back. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So just going here and then just like up like that. It looks really weird, but it's gonna really help you, because baby mills, you're high up on your back and you're really using those shoulders to push you around. So one more time, I'll do it again. We go here, onto your back, and then up like that. You want to have your hands ready like this as well. I've got them kind of close to me, so they're going like this. In the baby mill, they're actually going like this. You'll see that my right hand really punches around, okay? So now we're ready to go for our first one, okay? So you want to make sure that you're also, when you've landed on your windmill, you're higher than usual. So with the windmill, you might be here. But with the baby mill, you might be like right, not that high up, but pretty high. So now we're ready to go for the first one. We just go windmill, baby mill, and then up into another backspin. And again, so you just want to go one baby mill, push around into another backspin. So we go here, around, just like that. Okay, cool. So with my top tips with the baby mill and going into the continuous baby mills is you just want to, as soon as, kind of like the windmill, as soon as you're on your back, you want to be pushing up again and swinging hard as hell. So the two things you just got to always remember, pushing up and swinging round, especially the way that you're going. So in the slow motion tutorial, you'll see how my shoulders are really pushing that right myself around so that I'm able to just keep going. So again, I'm just here, just really pushing it. Okay, cool. So that was pretty much the baby mill. If you've got any questions, head on over to the breakdanceacademy.com or put them in the comment section here. I'll try to read them all. But other than that, keep training the baby mills. Again, this one's going to hurt you quite a bit, so I really recommend wearing a jumper or doing it on some padded flooring. But apart from that, you'll pick it up pretty easy if you're consistent with your training. So good luck with that, and I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to do webs. Okay, so step one of the windmill is we just go, step one of the web is we just go windmill and tap. So I'll show you what that looks like. We go here, tap, and again, here, and tap. You see, all it is, you don't even need to fully extend that right leg. All it is just landing on your back, and you can either tap with your toe or with your heel. It's all up to you. So step two, we just want to practice tapping with our foot, but then kind of bringing our hips up. So I'll show you what that looks like. We go here, tap, and then you just bring in those hips up like that, because that's going to give you the power to push around. Okay, so the last step of this is basically just going for it. So once you've tapped, the tap is then going to give you that power to push over it and then land on your back again. So one more time, we go here, tap, and round. You see, I really use, kind of like the baby mill, you really use your shoulder, and I use my head as well to kind of get up and round. So the more power you use with those shoulders to get round, the better. You really need to force that round. So that was the web. My top tips for the web again are just really use your shoulders as much as possible. Really tap down, not hard, but in a controlled way, and get those kind of like that momentum from that tap so you can get all the way around. And use your head as well, that's going to help you. Some people like to do it without, but I think it's easier. So keep practicing that, and I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do a standing backflip. Okay, cool guys, so I'll just quickly show you what a back handspring looks like. So I really recommend that you learn a back handspring before you learn a back tuck, and the reason for that is that I've known a few people who learned a back tuck before they learned a back handspring, and it resulted in them not really able to combo and tumble that well. So when it comes to tumbling, you know, where you're doing backflip, 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 back tuck, backflip, backflip into whatever. So those who learn a back handspring first, it's much easier for them to do that. Anyway, so the first thing that people get scared of when they're learning a backflip or a back handspring is obviously the whole jumping back onto your hands. So what I recommend that you learn first is the Valdez, and there's another tutorial on this in the membership, or maybe it's on YouTube. So what you do is for the Valdez, you just want to swing back just like that. I'm not really going to go over the Valdez here because there's another tutorial on it, but that's really going to help you start with a back handspring. So the first step that you should be practicing is the entry. So what it goes like is we go hands up, then you want your hands to come down, and as your hands come down, your knees bend, and then you're just jumping back like that. It sounds easier than it is. So again, the first step is to just work on your start, because if you don't know how you're starting, you're just gonna end up like just anywhere really. So you really need to get that start down. So again, hands up, hands down, and then you kind of want to jump off your ankles as well, because if you jump off your tiptoes are for back tucks because you're going up, but for a back handspring, you kind of want to go back. Not too far back because that's going to mess you up, but kind of like a balance between going back and up. So what I mean by that is we go hands down and up like that. So you just want to drill that. Once you've got that, which you should have it easily. What I did, and this might mess you up a little bit, but is I started turning my head sideways. It's kind of a bad habit to get out of, but I think it's a good place to start if you've got a lot of fear. So this is how I start. I would go here, here, and then I would jump sideways just like that. And that's totally fine, I think, when you're pretty much just starting, because eventually, once the fear is gone, you're just able to just swing right back and just hit it. So again, maybe just drill going sideways, going hands down, and then sideways over just like that. And then you just want to basically keep drilling that until that your head can just swing right back. So again, it's going like this, here, and then your head is going right back like that. When you're beginning, I guess it's okay to jump sideways and look at that angle, but beware, it can be a bad habit. I mean, it took me like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to get out of that, but it's possible, anything's possible. So again, okay, so we've got the sideways back flip, where we're jumping to the side, and then eventually we can just go right back into it just like that. Cool guys, so that was the back handspring. I really like doing back handsprings that shows, especially when it's like tumbles, like multiple backflips, because it looks really cool and there's loads of momentum and stuff like that. If you've got any comments, just comment below. If you need any help or whatever, head on over to the breakdanceacademy.com. And my top tips for the back handspring is head back. Don't jump too high up. Make sure there's a balance between going back and up. And the last thing is keep those kind of arms locked. When you're landing, your arms are not going to be used to just landing from that kind of position. So at the start, they're going to probably bend and stuff like that, but you want to keep them as locked as possible. Not too locked, because you want to absorb the power of the landing, but just a nice firm grip there. So keep training that. Make sure you've got mats and stuff like that. Obviously, just going for it on concrete is not a good idea at all. And that's what all flips. I really recommend you get like cushions. I started with just taking a mattress from my bed. So whatever you have access and available, just go for that. And just make sure you're thinking of safety as well. So take care, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Peace. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do a stepped side somersault. Okay, cool guys, so I'll just quickly show you what the side somersault looks like. Okay, so the side somersault, some people might call it like a tucked aerial cartwheel or whatever, but I just call it a stepped side somersault, so that's it. I'm joking. Alright, so anyway, so to practice that, you're obviously going to need to have a basic cartwheel. If you don't have that, this is going to be pretty difficult for you. But either way, let's just get right on into it. So the first step you're going to want to learn is, as you saw, I like to do a little step turn into it. This is the same step turn that I do for a B twist and a butterfly kick as well. So what happens with that is you just go step forward, then come back facing the front. So one more time, I'm just pretty much going like this. Step over, and then I step back the way like that, okay? So once you don't need to do that. I can do it straight like this, but I like to do that just for momentum. Okay, so now that we have the steps, the next thing to drill is the kick, the jump into the cartwheel. So what that looks like is we go here, we go step 1, step 2, and then we just basically want to get our head close to our knee, just like this way, and then you want to kick this right foot really hard up this way, and then just jump into a cartwheel. So what that's going to look like is pretty much just head, jump, over. Doesn't look that good, but don't worry. So again, it looks here, head, get that head to the ground, and then push this right foot up and jump. One more time, I'll show you that again. We just go turn, jump, like that. And that's just basically getting your body used to kicking hard, especially the two most important ingredients in the side somersault is that head going that way, and you want to do it pretty hard, and this back foot, which for me is my right, you want to really kick that hard. Okay, so now the next step, once you've got the two-handed cartwheel and you're getting loads of height, is now just take away one hand. So I recommend just putting down the far hand. So we go here, we go step, and just one hand comes down now. So again, it goes step, head, and jump, like that, okay? So now you should have enough height. Sorry, this is my mic here. You should have enough height to pretty much go for it. Eventually, you're just going to be doing it less and less. Like even practice just last minute, your hand will be coming down. So you just pretty much want to keep taking away less and less effort when you're going into that what's it called? Sideways somersault. One thing that you shouldn't do is just land straight, like you go for it and then you land really hard, like on the side of your legs or knees, because that's just going to injure you. So you'll want to put your hands back down again there. But once you've got enough height and you can do it, then it's perfect. So what I mean by that is once you've got less and less help from the hand, it will look something like just gently like that. Like I pretty much didn't need to do that, but I just did it anyway, just in case. So then it's just about figuring out where your feet are going to land and and everything else like that. So then once so the next step is, now that you've got the two-handed cartwheel, step into the two-handed cartwheel, you've got the step into the one-handed cartwheel, you just want to drill the one-handed, but just making sure you're landing really lightly, so that it's pretty much is not even needed. So until eventually that you're not even using it at all. So just something like here, just like, I did have that down quite a bit, but the idea is just that you don't even need the hand there at all. So you just got to keep drilling that. What's happening when you're not using your hands is basically you're just swinging it over like this. So you go here, here, and you're just basically, this right hand is really coming over your ear, and you're doing it pretty forcefully as well, and you're just kind of keeping them up like this. So I'll show you again. We go here, here, step, and then just like that. Okay, so that was the side summy. Keep training it. Like I say, you want to just keep taking that hand off more and more. The better you are, and the harder you're kicking with that back foot. My top tips are: practice down a slope or off like a box, or I'm just trying to think if you're doing this at home. Practice off like a table. If you've got a table, do that. Because doing it off a height, you're going to have loads of time to come down. So that's pretty much the side summy. If you've got any questions, make sure you head on over to the Breakdance Academy or in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep training. Peace.